Good morning and welcome to a new video. I'm currently standing on the station of Venray, which is pretty much my home station, I could say. And I'm using the light from the clock to illuminate my face because this station is in, I don't know, saving mode or something. It's absolutely dark here. The bus station, as you just saw, was pretty well lit, but this station is just very dark. My mission for today, I've been thinking a lot about video ideas lately, and I know that there in the Netherlands there are 4 cardinal points. So cardinal directions, so north, east, south and west. I'm pretty sure that they are marked out with either a plaque or something like a statue or something. But what's fun about that? What I want to know is what are the most cardinal bus stops? And since this channel is about bus stops or stops in general, shall we go find out? So the first cardinal direction that we will be heading to is west, so that will be to quote-unquote Holland. But if you know the map of the Netherlands, then you know that Holland and North and South Holland are pretty eastern of the west, and if you go down there's a province of Zeeland. I've been looking around on maps and on Google and on Google Earth and maps and stuff just to find out what is the most western stop that the Netherlands has. Now I'm very specific about one thing: the mainland of the Netherlands. So no islands, no parts of the Netherlands that are in the kingdom of the Netherlands, just the mainland of the Netherlands. And that has brought me to the province of Zeeland. In order to get to that stop, I had to get out of bed really early because it's 10 to 5. That's probably the reason why this station is so dark. So the train that we will be taking is the 5:15 towards Nijmegen. So our next stop is Nijmegen. I don't know if you can see anything in this darkness, but we are currently on the island platform of track 2 and 3, and we will be departing from track 2. In the distance, in the village here next to Venray, I just heard the clock ring like for 5 times for 5 o'clock, and they turned on the station lights. Yay! It would make sense for the operator to turn off the station lights when there's no trains running. I mean, why would you be here when there's no trains running? Now with the lights turned on, the station it's kind of amazing how much just a couple of lights can change the mood and the atmosphere at a station. It's quite interesting. I'm currently still waiting for the 5:15 to turn up, and another passenger has shown up. He sat down in a waiting shelter, and in about 2 or 3 minutes I heard a click. And I was like, that's a familiar sound. It was a lighter. About 30 seconds later, I smelled the smell of weed at 5 o'clock in the morning. Good on you, mate. I'm currently sat on the RS11, which this train is called, towards Nijmegen, and we will be here for about 40 minutes, so I've parked my ass in first class and let's go. So, we have arrived at Nijmegen station. Time to get some coffee because I really need to wake up. So I've just changed in Nijmegen from Arriva to NS. The coffee has been acquired and now I'm going to be in this intercity service to Roosendaal for about an hour. We are currently at the stopover at Westernmost, which is about 1/4 of the way there. Just about a little over an hour to go. The train that I'm currently in is a train that used to be a stop train, but was converted to an intercity. In the future there will be videos where I go into more detail about these trains, so stay tuned and maybe like and subscribe. Also, the journey that I'm currently taking from Venray to Nijmegen, from Nijmegen to Roosendaal, from Roosendaal to Vlissingen, and then if you know the Netherlands a little bit, there is this, the province of Zeeland has a couple of islands that are stacked on top of each other with water in between. Vlissingen is in the third island from the top. Well, they're not really islands because they're still attached to the Netherlands, but they kind of look like islands. They're stacked on top of each other. The bus stop that I'm going to is on the fourth island. That gives me the opportunity to go onto a ferry, which, funnily enough, I've never done before. I've never been on a ferry. I booked the tickets in advance yesterday. You can also buy them at the terminal. For my Dutch viewers, the ferry that I'm going on is between Vlissingen and Breskens. I just checked on the NS app. I've got a 3 or 4 minute change time, which is not a lot. I was looking into it. The journey that this train is making, every major station, it has like 4 or 5 minutes of standstill time. So even if it's a couple of minutes late, which is not, then the time will be corrected at bigger station. And I just checked online. I always check my plans or the track plans, and we will be arriving at track 3A. The connecting train that I need to get is from 4A, which is on the other side of the island platform, which is good. As you can see, we're moving again. Now the next stopover will be Tilburg. After that will be Breda, Etteleur, and then Roosendaal. So we've just arrived at Tilburg station, and look what's next to me. It's an ICNG. Video coming very shortly. Just a little fact about Tilburg. Not just the station, the whole city. Tilburg has a very big university, and all the people that you just saw waiting there on the platform were students that were going to school. Well, I'm already in the next train. I've reached the stop of Roosendaal and I've changed over to the train to Vlissingen. I'm currently already sat in the train because it was only a 3-minute connection, so gotta go fast. Connection made, so let's go to visit Vlissingen. And then for the very fun part, which is going onto a ferry to Breskens. I've never been on one, as I told earlier. I'm pretty excited for this. I usually don't travel over water a lot, except for crossing a river, maybe on a bridge or on a small ferry. But this one's going to take about 40 minutes, which is something I haven't done before. I'm quite curious to how this works. I mean, I have my tickets with a barcode, and maybe I should scan it, or maybe they will scan it for me. I don't know. Let's find out. Oh, and I'm really hoping that this connection, the connection from the train, from the intercity service to the Westerschelde ferry is going to be okay, because the NS app shows a on-time percentage of about 90% of this train, and I can also already see a +1 on the screen there. So I have 9 minutes of connection time, and it should be a 3-minute walk, so I've got about 6 minutes of play. Let's hope this works. Let's keep our fingers crossed. So the current train that I'm on is a bit special. The train that originates from Rotterdam Central, or Central. Until Roosendaal, it's an intercity service, and after that, because there's only one train connection between Roosendaal and Vlissingen, it becomes a stop train. So it's an intercity service. It's a double-decker train, but it stops at every stop, which for the Netherlands, it's pretty special. Final stretch for this train, for this intercity. We've just left Middelburg, and now we're going to Vlissingen Soeburg, or Sauburg, and then we will be arriving in Vlissingen, which I think we're going to do pretty much on time. As soon as we arrive, we're going to head towards the ferry. There are two things that are new for me. I've never been to Vlissingen, I've never went to a ferry. And so I gotta figure out how to get to the ferry, which I think there's some signs that point you towards where you need to go, but let's find out. Well, that was a quick transfer as well, for going from land to sea. Right. I gotta show you this. Just imagine that people just do this every day just for their daily commute. It's kind of insane. The ferry just departed from the terminal there, and we are now on the way to Breskens. And if you look here, that's another ferry, the Princess Maxima Vlissingen, and I have no clue on which one we are, but we're moving, and quite fast, to be honest. So we're heading into open sea. It's between those two islands, those two pieces of land in the province of Zeeland, which we are actually heading. It looks like open sea, but I can still see land in the distance. When we arrive in Breskens, then we have a short connection to a bus 42, and from there that bus will bring us to the most western stop, or the most western cardinal stop of the Netherlands. And oh, by the way, the price for this ferry was about €4.50, so it's 40 minutes on a ferry for €4.50. The pricing here is a-okay. There are not a lot of people on this ferry or on this boat because, well, I guess it's not the season or so. Looking around myself, I'm going to make a couple of really cool shots, so please do enjoy. We are fast approaching Breskens, which I think those 3 buildings in the distance is Breskens itself. I'm very curious, but there's not a lot of time to explore or to look around because the schedule that I planned is pretty intense. It's pretty tightly packed, so I will try and show you as much as I can, but I'll do my best. But the transfers are, I think it's 6 or 7 minutes in Breskens to the bus. Just if you look around the ferries and the boats and everything there, it's like a boat highway here. Those buildings that you see in the distance there, and that's where we came from. I thought this was a 40-minute cruise or ferry ride, but it turns out to be about 20-25 minutes. So it's a little bit less, but still very, very awesome. And if I show you this side of the boat or the ferry, then you can see land approaching. Quick, very quick. Well, that was our first time on a ferry. Let's go find our bus. Yes, so we are on the 5587. That was the number of that is the number of the bus. And now it's about 40 minutes to the most western bus stop of the Netherlands. So I wasn't expecting this bus to be very busy, but one other passenger. There's no one on this bus. So let's see if we are going to be picking up people. Oh, there's one right now. And that's when we arrive at the most western bus stop of the Netherlands, the mainland of Netherlands. Let me show you around. It's very bustling here. Now the bus stop that I was talking about is the bus stop called Havenstraat, which is actually the most westerly point that a bus drives, and a bus drives with a big bus. So not small buses, but a big bus. This is actually the bus stop that is served by a big bus and is in the most westerly point of the Netherlands, the mainland of Netherlands. Let's go look around. So I'm currently walking down this cycle path that is pretty non-saying. I mean, there's not a lot around here, and I've got about 7 or 8 minutes till the opposing bus comes back to my return journey. But I'm quite liking the area here, so I'm thinking of maybe I'll stay here not for 23 minutes, but for 83 minutes. I wanted to walk this cycle path, a small portion of it, because if you look past the gas station in the distance where the truck is driving right now, and you can see the cables, that actually is Belgium. So we are very, very, very close to the border with Belgium. And here it actually is. We have reached the Belgian border. Now luckily in the Netherlands and Belgium and in Europe in general, the borders are open, so I could technically cross into Belgium, but I'm not going to. I'm heading back to the stop. I'm taking the bus back to Breskens. I am currently still sat on the lane bus towards Breskens to the Veerhaven. It's about 5 minutes more until we get back to the ferry, the Veerhaven. I will end the video on the ferry. So we're back on the ferry, back to the mainland, and then the rest of the trip I won't film because it's not that interesting. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe.